Hello and a very warm welcome to ET Studios. So how do you see fashion retail spaces kind of adapting to the rise of online shopping and changing consumer behaviors within the shopping malls?
Okay, so let's begin again as he said. Let's begin from first there was mom and pop stores where the consumer used to go and buy, and the entire family used to be dedicated to the one that shopping departmental store. Then again, shopping centers came into being. Then shopping malls came into being. Then e-commerce happened, and for brands like us, now it's an amalgamation of everything put together. And now the next big thing we're looking at is how immersive can that experience be, because now the customer segmentation has started changing. Why? Because now the Gen Zs or probably the alphas are the decision makers. They are the next decision makers. They're actually influencing a decision. So the fragmentation is happening very differently, and because they are apt to the technology, they're already exposed to your PS5s and Vision Pros and everything. So they look at things in a very different manner than how we used to look at it. So for them, discovery becomes more important before trying the product. Earlier, as a traditional buyer, for example, I used to go to the store, look at stuff. Okay, show me what's new. Today, the consumer says, I know what is new. Do you have it? If you have it, you are there for them. If you don't have it, you are somebody not on their checklist. So this is how this new age consumer is changing. And then we as brands see how so we operate in both the spaces of offline retail stores and shopping malls and online. So what we have realized is the consumer is very different who visits to individual places. For example, weekends, the shopping malls, have huge traffic, and probably in the first 5 days, they're okay, they're fine. But when we see high streets, they're very consistent traffic. So all across the 7 days, you'll find very similar footfalls into the high streets. So the shopping malls, because you have a beautiful food court, you have an option of a theater, you have an amalgamation of multiple brands, from cosmetics to perfumes to apparels to mass market brands to premium brands, so that becomes a go-to destination for that. The weekends, become a good time for the consumer to go. And then probably an evolved consumer would say, okay, I'll take my family along, so there'll be a weekend off, and we'll go around. For experiential consumer, every day is a experience for them. So how as a brand, how are we, experimenting with immersive technologies across these platforms becomes the next question for us. The concept of customer retention and customer acquisition. So when we want to acquire consumer, obviously you do all the means possible to, deep discounting, entry-level products, lower margin products, everything. But when you talk about customer retention, then you get into education, immersive experiences, trying to understand, okay, why am I better, and why you should not leave me for another brand or another company. Now, and as he says, because the concept of outlets is coming up, and because now we've evolved into the e-commerce concept, and we know that our consumer over e-commerce is looking only for discounts and deals. So brands have also become smarter. We've started introducing SMU lines, which are slightly priced higher with deep discounting, because eventually the customer wants discounts. I mean, my consumer, she would see X product for say 8,000, and she would say, okay, discount kitna hai iske upar, and at okay, 40%, fantastic, I'll buy it. While we'll have a similar product which will already be 25% cheaper, and she'll again ask, discount kya hai iske upar, and she no, I want something that has got discount. So again, we need to understand the segmentation of consumer. India is a very large market. There is all sorts of consumers in the market. So as a brand in a semi-premium space, one city, tier 2 or tier 1 city, I am looking for 2% of that high level population to come to me as a consumer. While when you talk about going to outlets or e-commerce, and there's a larger landscape, and there the consumer set is very different.
Right. Yeah. And also, Akhil, you've spoken about immersive experience. So how you kind of incorporate experiential elements into your store designs within the shopping malls, and how do these experiences contribute to kind of enhance customer engagement and loyalty as well?
Okay. So India and brands in India are still evolving to kind of a true immersive experience of now. Though we have started, making a more strategic or scientific approaches to how we design layouts and design the stores, which is the decompression area, which is the new trends area, which is the engagement area. So, we've just tried, a lot of brands have a different way of, looking at how they design the layouts. So they become more relevant, using a lot of technologies like heat map to understand, okay, where the concentration of the consumer has to be more, and where I need to do what kind of lighting, where it has to be soft lighting, warm lighting. So as of now, the brands have evolved to this level. And when we go up to the west, where that's a more evolved and more matured market. So we started seeing a lot of immersive technology there, including smart fitting rooms, virtual try-ons, click and collect concepts. So we as Indian brands, we are still evolving. We don't actually boast of a lot of brands in the Indian ecosphere today who say that yes, we are actually giving a lot of immersive thing on the offline retail, but then it's in the pipeline for a lot of brands like us. So that's true. So being part of such events over and over again. So the insights that we get as a peer connect become very meticulous for us to to actually revisit ourselves. For example, I was on the panel in the morning, and whatever we were talking all about, so sitting on the panel, we were also the audience to listen to what's happening around, and that actually reshapes your thinking a lot. And congratulations to ET for this beautiful summit over here.